بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. Now we're moving on to ثم. The huruf al-ma'ani ثم. So ثم للتراخي again. ثم has three meanings built in. جمع, ترتيب, but not تعقيب. What does it have inside? تراخي, delay. And this is be mentioned in the wusta. Okay. So if I say جاء زيد ثم أمر, what does that mean? Zaid came, and after a while, Amr came. Okay. Following so far? So good? So when we have a normal sentence, it's called, it says Zaid came, then Amr came. This is an ikhbar, meaning when you are given information. Okay, before we move on, I want to explain a very important point. You should know this from Mustafa, from Nahwa, but let's recap it again. Okay? We have two types of sentences. One is called Jumlatun Khabariyah, and one is called Jumlatun Insha'iyah. In Jumla Khabariyah, you are stating information which can either be true or false. And Jumla Insha'iyah, you're actually bringing about something's wujud, whose wujud depends on your statement. So for example, let me give you an example. If I said here, Ja'a Zaydun, okay? What am I doing? I am simply giving you information regarding what? Zayd came. And if a person says anti talikun to his wife, what's he doing? He is not giving information. The ending meaning of this statement, he's not giving information. What is he saying? He's doing insha. This is called ikhbar. This is called insha. What does this mean? Let me give you an example. Think of ikhbar as a document. The document says, if you want to cut instructions on how to make a book, how to make a shirt. Yes? So in there, if you're writing something, and you say no, actually erase it. Or you say bal. You say, for example, to cut the shirt, make the first cut 2 meters, bal 1 meter. That's okay, innit? Because why? You can change these things. So you just give it information about a past event. Are you following? And insha is basically you're carrying out the action. So if it was a real thing, you say, well, khabar is basically writing a document how to do the action. And insha is basically saying, let's cut the shirt now in half. You follow? You're doing something. But obviously insha doesn't have an application on real world material things. It has an application. But what happens is actually doing what? You're actually carrying out, you bring it into wujud. So for example, if you say Ja'a Zaydun, you're either giving information about a past event, or you're doing what? Giving information regarding an event that's going to come up. Yes, makes sense? However, when you say anti talikun, what are you doing? You're actually bringing about talaq into existence. Do you understand? So khabar and insha are different. So in fiqh, we don't really look at ikhbar, we look at ikhbar, but we look at insha here. So you understand khabar and insha? So when we say Ja'a Zaydun thumma amrun, that's a khabar. But what's the effects of thumma in what? Insha. You following? When you have here insha, what would thumma and how would thumma differ, and what effects would thumma bring? Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he says, when you say thumma is for what? Jama'. So it's ma'tuf alayhi and ma'tuf. What is it? Ma'tuf alayhi and ma'tuf. When you have a ma'tuf alayhi and ma'tuf, that means both come together. But how do they come together? And number two, between thumma, there's a space, isn't it? Thumma is tarahi. Are you following? So if I'm giving you a khabar, it means Ja'a Zaydun thumma amrun. Zayd came, then sometime afterwards, who came? Amr came. In insha, if I use the word thumma in insha, what would the implication be? Imam Abu Hanifa says there's tarahi. There's tarahi fil lafzi wal hukm. What is there? There's tarahi in lafz and in hukm. For example, when he says anti, he says anti. Anti taliqun. Thumma taliqun. Thumma taliqun. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi says, this is actually tarahi in the hukm, and also tarahi in the lafz. It means that the taliqun, first taliqun in red, that took place, then there was sukut, quietness. A new sentence happened. Taliqun. Thumma taliqun. So when you say anti taliqun, thumma taliqun, thumma taliqun, what's happening? You are now doing tarahi and delay in the hukam. So when the insha happens, the insha will happen in delay. Similarly, in your speech, as if you said one word and you stop, sentence comes to an end. Now a new one, now a new one. Are you following me? Does that make sense? Sahiban, Imam Abu Yusuf, Imam Muhammad. What do they say? When you say thumma, yes, it's tarahi in the hukam, not tarahi in the lafz. Are you following me? So they will say, when you say taliqun, thumma taliqun, thumma taliqun, this is all in one box. It's one utterance. Because the thumma is a jama'. Thumma brings them together. And the tarahi is not in the way you've uttered them. Tarahi is in the hukam and the implications afterwards. Are you following? What's the implications of this? I'll explain it shortly. So Imam Abu Hanifa says it's tarahi in the utterance. So according to him, when he says taliqun, thumma taliqun, thumma taliqun, you've made three separate utterances. The hukam is separate. He agrees with that. Because thumma means tarahi. But tarahi in the hukam. And in the word. So you've made three separate utterances which have three separate rulings. Sahiban said you've made one utterance with three separate hukam. What on earth does that have to do with us? Give an example here now. ثم للتراخي لكن عند أبي حنيفة إمام أبو حنيفة رحمة الله عليه, he says that tarahi يفيد التراخي في اللفظ والحكم جميعا. Understood? وعندهما يفيد التراخي في الحكم مع الوصل في التكلم. However, in your speech, there's wasl. We will consider that both of these things happen simultaneously. All of the utterances happen in one utterance. It's one box. Do you understand? Have you understood this basis so far? Now moving ahead, there's a thamara. There's a benefit of this اختلاف. ثمرة الاختلاف. إذا قال لغير المدخول بها. If a husband says to his wife, who he has not had intercourse with, meaning they got married and then visa never got, she lived in another country, he lived in one country, they never got visa, so then they just divorced. Or let's say they got arranged marriage and then afterwards said, no, we're not going to go ahead with it, whatever happens. So he give divorce. So you have to remember, mutallaqa, there's different rulings. If she is a madkhulun biha, that marriage has been consummated. Yes, so that means now the marriage is now next stage, is like full stage now. Before consummation, it's lighter. Yes? So if she's madkhulun biha, you can give her 3 talaqs. If you give her 1 talaq, the nikah has not come to an end yet. What will happen? The nikah will, you have three chances into 3 talaqs. And if it's a غير madkhul biha, then the marriage hasn't been mu'akkad. So therefore 1 talaq will come bring the nikah to an end. Everybody following the masala? Yes? So you understand the madkhul biha and غير madkhul biha? So in madkhul biha, if the marriage has been consummated, there's 3 talaq. If you give 1 talaq, the nikah still exists until you give 3 of them. And if it's غير madkhul biha, what happens then? 1 talaq and the nikah comes to an end immediately. So if he says to a غير madkhul biha, he says to his wife with whom the marriage has not been consummated, he says this sentence: أنت طالق ثم طالق ثم طالق إن دخلت الدار. Based on the ikhtilaf of Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Abu Yusuf regarding tarahi fil lafzi wal hukmi, or only tarahi fil lafz ittisalun fil hukmi, there's a difference of opinion. What happens here? Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, what does he say? Tarahi fil lafzi wal hukm. Both is mu'akhar. So he says anti taliqun, one statement. Thumma anti taliqun, tarahi fil lafz, as if he separated them. Thumma anti taliqun in dakhalti ad-dar. So according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, he will say this is what it means. He made 1 utterance, he made a 2nd utterance, then he made a 3rd utterance, and the shart is only linked to the last one. Anti talikun thumma talikun thumma talikun in dakhalti ad-dar. He said because thumma is a break in kalam. So therefore what will happen in this scenario? When you say this to a غير مدخول بها, what will happen? How many talaq does غير مدخول بها have? How many talaq does غير مدخول بها? One. So Imam Abu Hanifa said, when you said anti talikun, that's one utterance. So basically, you'll do this much, and then the ruling will come into place. So when you say anti talikun, what happens now? Talaq. Is she your nikah anymore? So if you go down the road, you say to a woman, anti talikun. I'm not your wife. How can you give me talaq? What's that kalam? Laghwa. And you go to the wife. You imagine you get an argument with some woman on the road. Not your wife, somebody. If you park in that spot, you have talaq. Okay, I'm not your wife. Is that what's that kalam? So Imam Abu Hanifa says, one talaq will take place with the anti-taliqun, because that's one utterance. And the other two is useless because he's not in a nikah. This is what Imam Abu Hanifa says. If she was madkhul biha, what would happen? If she was madkhul biha, how many talaq do you have? 3. What will happen? Anti-taliqun. Will that take place? Thumma taliqun. Will that take place? Thumma taliqun in the khalti dar. Will that take place? It's mu'allaq. This is mu'allaq. It will take place on the condition. Are you following? So now Imam says, what's it khilaf? إذا قال لغير المدخول بها أنت طالق ثم طالق ثم طالق إن دخلت الدار. What will happen? فإنه يقع الأول ويلغو ما بعده. The second two becomes لغو, null and void. If it's غير مدخول بها. If it's مدخول بها, the first two will occur and the third becomes mu'allaq. Do you understand the masala? Okay. Moving on. What will happen now? If Imam Abu Hanifa, if you say opposite way around, you say what? In dakhalti dari anti talikun. In dakhalti dar anti talikun. Thumma talikun. What will happen now? If she's madkhul biha, if she's غير madkhul biha, what will happen? The first talaq becomes mu'allaq. It's confined to the condition. Second talaq? No, not second talaq. Because that talaq hasn't occurred yet. It's mu'allaq. So he says to his wife, not the dukhul. There's no consummation. So when you say anti taliq in the khalti dar, is talaq taking place? It's pending. Then he says anti taliqun. Will that occur? This will occur. Because she's not separated from that, because that's still pending. That's not occurred. She will never enter the house, that particular house, or do whatever. Anything else. If you become a kafir, get talaq. Or if you ever commit zina, you become talaq. Or if you ever cheat and use riba, you do talaq. He said that. Whatever reason, whatever. I mean, she will never do it in her life. So then it will never occur. So she's still pending. She's still got one talaq. And this becomes talaq. And if she's madkhul biha, then what happens? This is mu'allaq. This is pending. This will occur. This will occur. Yes? وَلَوْ قَدَّمَ الشَّرْطِ. If you bring the shart first, the first becomes pending, suspended. The second will occur, and the third becomes null and void. Because why? She's only got one talaq. If she's madkhul biha, the last two will occur. Are you following what Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi and Sahiban are saying? What the ikhlaf is? Sahiban, what would they say? According to them, this tarahi fil hukmi ittisalun fil takallum. So according to them, when you say anti talikun thumma talikun in the khalti dar, or if you say in the khalti dar anti talikun thumma talikun, whether it's muqaddam or akhar, it makes no difference. Why? Because when you say thumma, that's one bracket. You say what? All of this is one utterance. So all of this now becomes what? Mu'allaq. Because as if you said one statement. It basically, anti talikun thalatha in the khalti dar. So when you say first or afterwards, these are counted as one statement. One statement. And this one statement is linked to the shart. Do you understand? Are you following? So according to them, in both scenarios, what will happen? All three are linked. Whether madkhul biha, غير madkhul biha, what will happen? Now in madkhul biha, what will happen? In غير madkhul biha, when she enters the house, what will happen now? That will take place and needs to become laghwa. Are you following? And if she's madkhul biha, then when she enters the house, then all three will take place at once. So the difference is that in this statement, anti talikun dakhalti dar, is that one will take place and the غير madkhul biha becomes mutallaqa straight away. Because Imam Abu Hanifa says it's separate utterances, the separate statements, analyze each one individually. Is that clear? Is that clear, that masala? Everybody understand? Qala, Sahiban say, yata'allaqna, all talaqs become mu'allaq. But then they will ينزلن على الترتيب. They will occur in tartib. So if when one talaq occurs, she's غير مدخول بها, then only one talaq will occur. She leaves the nikah, these two become null and void. And she's madkhul biha, then this will occur, then this will occur, then this will occur in order. Yes? So again, the text is what? This is the text I've explained previously. So the ikhtilaf is if you say to غير مدخول biha this sentence, then Imam Abu Hanifa has this opinion, Sahiban have this opinion. Okay? Now, just one more ruling regarding thumma. وَقَدْ تَجِيءُ ثُمَّ بِمَعْنَى الْوَاوِ مَجَازًا. Sometimes, not wow, thumma. Thumma comes in the meaning of wow majazan. Again, this is very simple. It has a lot more, not just what meaning of wow. In balagha, it has a lot more implications. But for now, basically, he's trying to say that there's three meanings in thumma: tartib, ta'qib, and tarahi. No, not ta'qib. Jama', tartib, and tarahi. In here, there is no tartib, no tarahi. Yes, it is jama'. And obviously, the word thumma, you have thumma, lil istib'ad, and all of that kind of stuff. We do it later on. Thumma kana min alladhina amanu. So this thumma means wa. So it has a lot of balagha in this, but that's not our topic. Our topic is usul al-fiqh. So in here, there's no tartib and no tarahi. So therefore, it's majaz. And you could do this, we'll do this in detail, inshallah, in Jalalain or in balagha, inshallah. That's the end of the thumma discussion. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك.